What is going on? Hey, look there's a lot of news going on, some interesting things. I'm actually going to be bringing you news from the future regarding the Dinar raid. Mwah. Just kidding. You'll see what I'm talking about here in a second. But look, something interesting happened yesterday, okay? So I was speaking with April here, or chatting, I should say. We weren't actually speaking. And, she was asking me if I heard of Santa surfing on Twitter, and I said no. Actually, I've heard of Santa surfing on YouTube and came across a couple of Santa surfing YouTubes, and in there, this Santa surfing talks a lot about the global currency reset, the Jacera, the Nasera. Anyways, on Santa surfing, there was some testimonies of individuals, and there's a long stream of them on Twitter, in which people's student loans and mortgages, their debts were forgiven. And so we got to talking about, do you think this is in the process? Do you think it started? And I don't know why, and I thought to myself, that's interesting. I should go check to see if anything's happened to my mortgage or my student loans. Okay, because maybe I might be paying on my mortgage for no reason. So anyways, lo and behold, I went to my credit report, and what I found blew my mind. My student loans are zero. I owed $137,000 on her. All 25 cases or accounts were closed. So for those you don't know, when you go to college and every time you start a new quarter, you have to go in and reapply for new loans. So that's why there's so many of them. So I thought, man, I don't want to get overly excited. I want to find out if this is legit. So I called my lender up and I said, look, on my credit report, it says zero. They went into the system, and what they told me was that, yes, all of your student loans have been discharged. And I said, what does that mean? There's nothing negative on there. I mean, what does that mean? She goes, it means you don't owe anything on it. So I don't owe anything on my student loans. They're gone. They're done. Now, before I jump to any conclusions, what does this mean? I have no idea. Is this part of the Jacera, the Nasera? Man, it's hard to argue or make a case against it when we've been talking about it and how you're going to see a debt forgiveness for mortgages, debt forgiveness for student loans, credit card debt forgiveness. There's a lot of people that are seeing that right now. And now I can give my own personal testimony. Okay. And even Anita, she went to check her student loans, and hers are now zero as well. So, I'm pretty floored about this, because this was a huge chunk of debt that we owed. You know what I mean? While she only owed, I think, somewhere around 11,000. Me, I owned 137,000. I currently hold 5 degrees, including a master's. So, I was like, wow. So the fact that it says zero, and I made a kind of a screenshot of what's reflecting on all 3 of my credit reports. So here is my testimony, my official testimony. Now, whether it's part of the Jacera or Nasera, I don't know, but I could just tell you this. I don't owe anything for student loans. It's gone. I called them and validated it, and they said it has been discharged. It's gone. It's there. I don't owe anything. So I'm excited about this. Whether other people's, what I say is, you know what? Go check. You never know, man. You don't know. Go check and see what your credit report says, and then validate it. Now be careful. You don't want it to say zero and think it is, and to find out you do. That's why I called. Because when I seen it, I was excited about it, but I was, I didn't want to get overly excited, because my thought was maybe there's just some kind of error. But credit reporting, like everyone said, credit reporters don't make that much error. So, anyways, nonetheless, it is zero. I can officially tell you that it has been discharged. There's no real reason why. It just says that I owe nothing, and I even called to validate it. So yes, I'm excited about that. All right, so let's get into everything real quick. So I told you that Bitcoin halving is coming up, and that the price of Bitcoin cannot stay at this low in order for it to be feasible for miners to continue to mine Bitcoin. It's going to have to go up. We're about 6 weeks away, and we're slowly, over the last few days, we have been seeing a very slow climb, a general healthy climb in cryptocurrencies. None of this crazy up and down. They go up pretty decently, come down a little bit, go up a little bit, go down a little bit. But it's still healthy. This was down around 11 cents at one time. Then it went to 13 cents. That's when I bought a whole bunch of them. Okay. And now look at it. It's up to 17.90. All right. This is is good. This is good, healthy growth. Now, what I'm anticipating is I think these people that are mining Bitcoin, they're not going to allow this price to stay down here. It's going to have to get up there. It's going to have to be between 16 and 18,000. I might be off by a little bit. Let's just say between 14 and 18. If this does go up that high, that's going to drag all these other cryptocurrencies up. Okay, and I'm a huge collector of XRP and Ethereum, all right? At one time, Ethereum was $280. Now it's down to 142. All these took a tumble. This is around 33 cents. This is around 280. This is right before our coronavirus crash, or for you Mexicans, these coronaviruses, So anyways, nonetheless, here we are, and they're starting to make a slow recovery, okay? As you guys know, the stock market's still teetering up and down. That's not a big deal. We already knew this is going to happen. This is on the heels of the jobs report where we're seeing 10 million jobs are lost, but it's not like I need to freak out or any of you need to freak out. We know it's because we're all imprisoned into our house. As soon as they give us that green light to go back outside, these jobs will all come, just like you see in record unemployment, drop in 1 week, you see it go back up just as quick. Gold still around the $1,600 mark. I'm telling you, it's not going to stay there. All right, this is, to me, a bargain-based deal. All right, now, silver is ridiculously suppressed. The fact that it's still around the $14 mark or $14.50 mark is mind-blowing to me. But here's the kicker. Good luck on trying to find any. That's at all. I've had trouble finding it. Now, don't get me wrong, I am finding it, but it's very scarce. So my encouragement to you is, people, if you have money going, should I buy the dong or the dinar? No, buy gold and silver. Right now is the time more than ever that you guys should look into that, okay? All right, so anyways, having said that, let me just remind everybody quickly, if you haven't already, I have a Facebook group that has the same name as my YouTube channel. I'll leave a description in there so you can come on in. It's free 99 to join, and I encourage everybody to come in here. We talk about the Iraqi dinar, the Vietnam dong, the Zim dollar, cryptocurrencies, gold, silver, you name it, it's in here. I encourage you to come and join us in there. It's a great community. If you have questions, they're willing to answer. Okay, so it's a great group of people, very knowledgeable. Just, come on in. And also for those people, there's a lot of people that are trying to buy cryptocurrencies right now and they're not sure where to go. I leave a link to where you can go to buy cryptocurrencies. Coinbase is a very user-friendly platform. And so if you follow the link, you get $10 free. But if you get in there, and once you're in there, if you scroll on down, there's a section called Earn Cryptos. So you can earn up to about $160 worth of cryptos just watching these little videos. All right, they're about 2 minutes long. You can watch them and earn a bunch of free cryptos. I told people, what the heck, join and get their free cryptos, and then we'll see from there. Now, I told you I had some news from the future regarding the Iraqi dinar. So I took my time traveling machine. For a lot of you that know me, know that I joke around in my other group about having a time machine, because I have this uncanny ability to match up pictures between people of ones that look like a younger version of them and ones that look like a really extremely old version of them. So I always joke that I have a time machine, and my friends kind of freak out. They're like, dude, that's freaky that you found a picture of an older version of me. And I go, yeah, I do that all the time. So it's pretty funny. I have to show you that one of these times. But nonetheless, I took my time machine and I went into the future. I went to 4/22/2020. That's right. I am 19 days from now. And what are they talking about? Well, the economical advisor to the Iraq Prime Minister, Salih, confirmed on Thursday that the curfew and the coronavirus crisis are behind the rise of the U.S. dollar exchange. Okay, the Iraqi dinar, the exchange rate of the dinar in Iraq was 127,000 to 128,000 dinars per $100. Okay, the process of increasing the foreign exchange rate of the Iraqi dinar always occurs during the official holidays. Let me rewind. The process of increasing the foreign exchange rate of the Iraqi dinar always occurs during official holidays, noting that this is a neutral and expected. It does say neutral. Okay, my bad, natural. Okay, this is a natural and expected thing due to the current conditions, curfews, and the coronavirus crisis. The central bank will take action against violators exploiting the current conditions and manipulating the exchange rate of the U.S. dollar and foreign currencies against the Iraqi dinar. Okay, due to the curfew measures, the market will witness a relatively calm and stability. Will witness a relative calm and stability. How about a calm and stable in the rate or an exchange rate of the dollar in front of the dinar in coming days, noting the exchange rate process will stabilize it. Yep, was part in the past after the end of a crisis lifted a curfew. So what they're talking about? What are they talking about? They're talking about changing the dinar rate after the curfew, after the crisis. This is for 422. We're not quite there yet. See, this is my time machine breaking. Look at it's breaking. 422. There we are in the future. Does that mean the rate change is getting ready to happen? Is there any other articles out there that support this? Yes, there is. We'll get into it right now. Here we go. So this isn't the exact one, but we'll get down to it. All right. So Zarfi challenges the Shia forces and requests the appointment of confidence session. So he's ready. This guy's ready to get in it. We talked about this. The prime minister designate. Zorfi said on Friday that he will present his government program to Parliament tomorrow, Saturday, with a request to set the date for the session to give confidence to his government. Let's see what kind of excuses they use, like the coronavirus, or otherwise known as the beer bug. All right, so the beer bug as an excuse not to do that. I don't think that's going to happen. You know, I don't know why, but more than ever, I feel like finally we're going to get what we want, and that is a prime minister in there with his government. All right, and the reason for that is there's a major push by Pompeo. They're actually threatening now to go ahead and sanction Iraq if they can't get their together. All right, so these types of threats, this is why I showed you an article the other day where the Shiites were willing to meet with Zarfi, and they wanted to come up with some kind of conditions, some kind of agreements ahead of time before they would support him. Let's hope that happened, all right? So anyways, this move constitute a challenge on the part of Zarfi for prominent Shiite forces headed by Fatah coalition led by Amiri, and the State of Law coalition by Maliki, who rejects his candidacy and is looking for an alternative. Of course Maliki is, because he's an Iranian puppet. We know that a big portion of the people in the parliament, the ones who got the biggest voting bloc, are all Iranian-backed puppets, all right? So, no, that's not going to happen. I told you there's a movement getting ready to take place here where Trump is going to go in there and sweep and clean house in Iraq, and that is he's going to be taking out a lot of Iranian-backed militia groups. It's already in the works, okay? So let's hope that Zofia gets in there and he is able to get his government where they need to be. So my government will work on three important axes. Firstly, the balance of international relations for a strong and moderate Iraq. Secondly, to find solutions to the financial crisis. What do you guys suppose that solution is? You know, if my money needed to buy some materials or input some goods so that I can start rebuilding my country, yeah, no, I might want to increase my purchasing power so I can get things done. Give me a thumbs up if you like that idea. And thirdly, to impose a state prestige and the rule of law. This is the biggest reason why a lot of these Iranian-backed puppets in the parliament are not very happy about this guy's appointment. First of all, he has a really good relationship with America and the Trump administration. And this guy is not a fan of Iran. Okay, so this puts the people in the parliament in a very tough position. I still think they should dissolve it, but we'll see where this goes, okay? So here we go. We'll scroll on down here. Okay, the government curriculum will be delivered to Parliament and an official session is requested. That's pretty much what we just talked about. It's a little bit more of a synopsis in here. Come on, let's get to what we're looking for. Uh-oh. The Finance Committee comments on the central bank's decision to stop the flow of the dollar. Really? Let's see. The Finance Committee commented on Friday on the central bank's decision to stop the dollar from flowing into the market with the aim of floating the dinar and reducing its value in order to fill parts of the budget deficit and the needs of the government. What does it want to do? it wants to lower the value of the dollar by floating the dinar. Let me read that again, because if you don't read this right, you'll misread it. I had to read it a few times. What this guy is saying is that the value of the dollar is strong against the dinar. They need to do something about that. That needs to change. Okay, so if you don't read this right, we know that if they float the dinar, that's based on market demand, supply and demand. We all know there's a lot of people that want to buy dinar. They want to invest in this, all right? So what they need to do is lower the value of the US dollar. They need to stop it. They need to weaken it. And how are they going to do that? By floating the dinar and allowing the rate to increase. Go ahead. Do the Pimpy dance. I know you're doing it. All right? Look, it looks like a lot of this is lining up. All right? Now, what we don't know is what is it going to increase? We will find out. Okay? So, anyways, the committee's reporter, I know you guys are going to give me crap for that because I probably read it wrong. Anyways, said in an interview with Baghdad that reading the intentions of the central bank to stop the flow of the dollar and floating the dinar to fill part of the state's budget deficit is impossible, but it may be in harmony with the current situation to compensate for the shortfalls of the oil revenues. Do you see what they're saying? Look, we need to do something to fill in the budget gap because of the shortfalls of the oil. And how do you do that? You can't just, make more money? It won't work. They need to do what? All right, say it. Increase the rate. Yes, that's right. They need to increase the rate. So look, they're already talking about this. If you take my article from the future that I went into that they're talking about this, we might be at the doorstep. Finally, people. Finally, let's not get overly excited, man. But it's starting to look really, really good. Okay? There is a lot of chit chatter out there, and we already know what needs to be done. We already said what needs to be done. Iraq is starting to look like it's stabilizing a little bit. All right. Okay. With this new PM going in there, with this new government going in there, and Trump going in there, removing the influence and the grip of the Iranian people. Let's just hope it's time, man. All right. So as usual for all these, I will leave a link to this so you can go in here and read this yourself. Okay. So you can see it's a pretty good size article, okay? So anyways, look, in here they're talking about the increase. It's a slight increase, don't get me wrong. It's a slight increase, and you guys can scroll down here to read it, okay? But, again, they're just trying to increase the rate. A step forward's better than a step backwards, okay? Let's see here. So he finished the first stage of the government formation meeting. And in front of him were 2 steps. Okay, what are the 2 steps? We're not talking about the cha-cha. All right, so on Friday, March the 3rd, 2020, the deputy, what about it? Revealed the prime minister. Okay, so he was introduced. The first stage of the meeting and formation of the government. All right, so basically what this article goes on is talking about all the meetings with the members of the Shiite blocs is what it was, and how they want to go ahead and try to line up and see if they could come to some kind of consensus and agreement that they'll support this guy, all right? So that's all this is, and how the president of the republic is pushing for this guy to go forward. Look, you cannot get a better PM in there. This guy does have great relationships with the U.S. He's an American-born Iraqi person going into the PM job, which means he's very friendly to America. Trump has already told these guys they've already been negotiating on free trade deals. So if this guy gets in there, you can bet that right away one of the first things they're going to do is implement a free trade deal that's going to do what? Improve the Iraqi economy. If it does that, this strengthens the dinar. Okay, these are the types of things we're looking for, okay? Anyways, I thought I would just get you guys caught up on Iraqi news for today. Like usual, I will leave a link in there. And like I said, I have to come back from the future because this is from 422. And a quick reminder that go check to see if you guys have had any of your debt relieved. I was floored to see this. We're talking about $137,000 is now gone. All right? And I just didn't accept this at face value. I had to call and validate it. and he told me it was discharged. So I'm excited about that one thing. It just seems to me, for me anyways, a little bit of good news, a little good mood. Well, that's not like a little, that's big for me, all right? So anyways, let me know what you think. So does it look like the dinar rate is getting ready to change? It sure looks like there's a lot of steps being taken towards and into that direction, all right? All right, have a good one.